Hey guys, welcome back to Sapphire. So I came across a comment today that stuck with me. Let's take a look. I am simple American man with millions of dollars. I could never get a Chinese girlfriend. Not complaining, just confused. A fair question. Let's talk about it. What do Chinese ladies really care about? Is it your job, your family background, or just your bank account? If you ask a lot of Chinese parents, those three things top the list. And sure, they're not irrelevant, but if you have spent any time around real relationships, not checklists, you start to notice something. Those three things, they are never really the foundation, not for anything long term, not for anything loving. A lot of us grew up with this quiet assumption: get a great job, come from a decent family, make money, the rest will follow. And sure, those things help. But if you look at actual relationships, do they deliver what people really want? Money buys comfort, stability, maybe a very nice home and a couch. What it doesn't buy is emotional balance, or the small daily generosity that makes living with someone not feel like a second job. Here's where it gets interesting. Most modern Chinese girls aren't looking for a sponsor, they're looking for a builder, someone actually build a life with. And the data quietly disagrees with the old stereotype. Divorce rate in China in big cities is around 36% now, similar to many Western countries. So much for Chinese girls are naturally more faithful and loyal in marriage. Turns out loyalty isn't a cultural automatic. It's a personal choice shaped by two people's action over time. And one of the most important things is that through time, Chinese economy is getting stronger and girls can get more positions in the workforce. Not to say that it's a bad thing, but you can see that while the economy brings the wealth, and it brings out an issue why the divorce rate is getting higher and higher as well. That's why even significant wealth often fails to fill in the missing pieces. It's not that money doesn't matter, it's that money alone doesn't teach you how to be a good person, doesn't teach you how to be generous, capable, and open. And those three things, they are what actually makes someone want to stay. Oh, you probably think this is about money is evil talk. No, it's just that you've got the finances but still feel stuck. Maybe the gap isn't in your bank account. It is in what you are bringing to the table that isn't priced in dollars. First up, agreeableness. Let's just call it genuine generosity. Not the flashy kind, not the look how much I spent. Real generosity shows up in the small everyday moments, thoughtfulness, paying attention, little things that actually feel good to give and receive. Example, first day bill arrives, you offer to pay, not to prove anything, just because it's nice. And here's a quiet truth, generous doesn't mean broke. It's not about empty your bank account. It's care, attention, gentle behaviors. Costs nothing but somehow leaves a real impression. So here's the question for you. Who's the most generous person you know? Do they actually spend a lot on you? Or do they just show up and listen well? Second quality, capability. Do you mean my job? No, I don't mean your job title or how much you earn. Real capability is about everyday competency, problem-solving skills, how well you handle life when no one's watching, especially the messy, uncomfortable parts. Look, there's nothing wrong with being proud of your career. You work for it, great. But here's a pattern worth noticing. Some people power everything into their professional success. Titles, promotions, salary bumps, while their emotional side quietly falls behind. They are great at closing deals, but small daily challenges, managing frustration, staying balanced when plans fall apart, that part might be less developed. And here's something you will notice if you live in China. Conflict management isn't exactly a strength here. The most common response to tension? Silence. People go quiet, withdraw, and they call it mature and professional. But is silence really the same as emotional capability? Or is it just avoidance dressed up as restraint? True capability is quieted but not silent. It's being self-resilient without needing to announcing it, fixing the little things, adapting to small troubles without drama, and actually addressing conflicts when it matters, not just disappearing because titles and income can change. A layoff, a bad market, gone, but your life skills, independence, and emotional balance, those stay with you. Third quality, openness. In everyday words, flexibility. Let's be real. China has its own unique culture, social habits, social norms, daily rhythms. If you grew up somewhere else, something will feel unexpected, maybe even confusing or frustrating at times. Totally normal, no shame in that. You're allowed to vent, you're allowed to feel annoyed. I will get annoyed most of the times as well. So nobody expect you to love every single differences. Here's the interesting part though. Chinese partners tend to be naturally caring and a great listener. They will genuinely sit with you, hear you out, your stress, and try to comfort you. But this is the part worth noticing. They can't fix cultural differences for you. They can't change the whole environment. So if you hold on so much heavy frustration and for a long time, week after week, that weight doesn't just stay with you. It also lands on the person beside you. They see you're struggling. That's not easy for them either. So what does openness actually mean here? It doesn't mean you have to accept everything you dislike, not at all. It just means vent when you need to. That's healthy. But then, for your own peace and theirs, slowly practicing letting go. Little by little, adjust your mindset, not because everything is perfect, but because carrying extra weight is exhausting for everyone, as Johnny Depp would say. Cross-cultural life and love much softer when you learn to release, not just replay. Hey, I'm Sapphire, a Chinese wife married to an American guy living in Shenzhen, China. If this cross-cultural conversation is your thing, hit the subscribe button. It can really help me keep making these. Thank you. I will see you in the next one.